Edward J. Schneidman, the most aggressive and constructive mayor of Quincy's history through 1946, the late Edward J. Schneidman compiled a remarkable record of achievements for Quincy, giving the city a position of leadership among Illinois municipalities. Schneidman was born April 20th, 1906 in Rock Island, Illinois, and moved to Quincy when he was 8 years old. He attended Quincy Public Schools and later Quincy College, where he gained fame as an athlete. He was elected alderman from the 2nd Ward in 1932 before being elected mayor in April 1941 in a landslide victory over a two-term incumbent mayor. Schneidman was 35 when he took office.
It was about we and not me. He always thought of in terms of the community. He doesn't mention Republicans or Democrats. He really kind of transcended that. At the end of his term of office, he wanted to be able to look every single taxpayer straight in the eye and be able to for them to know that their tax dollars had been spent honestly and wisely. And I believe this is because when he was growing up, everybody in the family had to work very, very hard just to make ends meet. So he understood the value of every single tax dollar to the taxpayer.
A bachelor, Schneidman was known as Eddie to thousands of Quincy residents, and he was a workhorse. His leadership was available to all civic and patriotic endeavors during the hectic war years, and until his brothers returned from military service, Schneidman managed both the city and the family business, Schneidman Distributing Company. He organized a local defense council that won praise from state and federal civilian defense officials. He took the initiative in securing Quincy's only war plant, Quincy Barge Builders Incorporated, which produced landing crafts for the Navy. He is credited for being the impetus for a new joint city and county building, and he removed the toll from the Mississippi River Bridge to encourage regional shopping. Schneidman was re-elected mayor in 1945.
He said the main challenge would be to obtain housing and jobs for the nearly 5,000 Quincyans who were returning then from military service at the end of World War II. And that's precisely why he traveled to Chicago in 1946 to meet with officials of the Federal Housing Authority to get their aid in building more housing in Quincy.
The manager at the Lincoln Douglas Hotel made arrangements for them to stay at the Bismarck. And they drove up, and they were exhausted apparently at the time that they got there. They got there fairly early, around noonish perhaps, and the rooms at the Bismarck were not going to be ready for 4 or 5 hours. So they asked the manager of the hotel to make different arrangements for them, and he made arrangements for them to go to the LaSalle Hotel.
A midnight blaze at the 22-story LaSalle Hotel on June 5, 1946, claimed 58 lives, including Schneidman and 3 other Quincy civic leaders. It was the worst hotel fire in Chicago's history.
So that was a cruel twist of fate.
During his 5 years as mayor of Quincy, Schneidman was acclaimed for his devotion to duty and a sense of community responsibility that went far beyond his official obligations. He led in the campaign that saw Quincyans vote a $200,000 bond issue for a new municipal airport, then known as Baldwin Field. He won Civil Aeronautics Authority approval and aid for this huge project, nearly completed at his death at a cost of close to $2 million. Months before his death, he also paved the way for further state and federal aid in lighting the airport and building an administration building and hangars.
He was also quite interested in developing Quincy's transportational infrastructure. He wanted to improve the roads and especially to develop the municipal airport because he was very futuristic in his thinking, and at a time when most transportation was by bus or by train, he foresaw that the future would be air travel.
Schneidman also developed the Quincy Recreation Commission and secured a coalition of city, Board of Education, and Quincy Park District members to develop Q Stadium for baseball upon the return of Quincy to the 3I League. He modernized police department training and routines, and he dreamed of a privately funded underground parking garage under Washington Park and the development of a hotel and lake at the airport.
As a young man, he had a lot of things that he wanted to get done. He was regarded as a very aggressive and constructive guy. He not only took care of the streets and bridges and the everyday business of being the mayor of a city, but he had an idea for what he wanted the community to be in the future and how he wanted to leave it. I'm not sure where he got all of his ideas for the things that he wanted to promote, but they were definitely more worldly than a lot of the folks around there at that time. He had a vision to make it a more cosmopolitan area, if you will. I have to believe that his youth contributed to his imaginative formulas for the future for the community.
During his tenure as mayor, Schneidman was elected vice president of the Illinois Municipal League. Following his death, a mall in the downtown area was dedicated to all 4 city leaders who perished in the LaSalle fire. The 106-acre Schneidman Industrial Park on North 24th Street was named in his honor in 1980.